In this video, we're asked to write a method called sumStrings that'll take a map whose keys are strings and whose values are points, and then return a map that associates each point with the sum of the lengths of the strings. So, for example, say that we have this big ugly map here, and then we call upon our sumStrings method with that data map. And it should end up looking much prettier like this, where we don't have to deal with those horrific strings. So it says x equals 7 and y equals 7 will map to 5. We get that right here. The reason it maps to 5 is because we just have the word apple here. And there's no other point in this original mapping that has the coordinates 7 and 7. So we're just returning the result of our string length, and that's 5. But notice that for x equals 1 and y equals 3, we return 11. Why? Because it's associated with 3 strings, a, cat, and student. So a has 1 character, cat has 3, making it 4, and then student has 7. Adding those together gets 11. So we are going to construct a new map, and we can construct iterators, but we're not allowed to construct any new data structures. So let's get started here. So what do we know? We know that we're going to be returning a new map in the form of points to integers. And we also know that we're going to be taking in a map that maps out strings to points. So let's get started. Public static method. A map which will basically say, okay, I'm going to compare points and map them to integers. If I can spell that right. And our method is called sumString, and it is going to take in a map itself that, oops, got a capitalized map, that will take in a string that will point basically to a point. And we're going to call it data. So the first thing we need to do is we need to construct a new map. So, and because we want to return the map that has points mapped to integers, we need to declare it in such a way like that. We're going to call it our resultant map. And it's going to be a new hash map. We could do it as a tree map, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to, yeah, basically point map to integer. Oops, it's actually integer, not integers. Close that off. Okay. This is the point where we want to look over the map. So the way we're going to do this is by calling the good old for each loop, which is we're going to say we're going to look at the string values, and we're going to say, okay, we're going to call data.keyset so that we can get the individual mappings to the strings. So we can actually get the values here. So what do we need to do? We need to basically get the points that correspond to the strings. So, oops. Strings. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to say, okay, our point P is going to be equivalent to our data.get at S, because we want to get the corresponding points that are at the particular string. So at this point we want to see if our new map contains this data value. And if it doesn't, we're going to actually put that data value in. So in this case, if our result dot contains the key of P, because don't forget, in this case we're mapping from points to integers, and in this case we're mapping from strings to points, so we want the point to point at points. So mapping it to P. If not, we're going to add we're going to add the point P, and we're going to add the length value of the string at that point. Now, in the case that we do have the point already, then what we're going to do is we're going to put in the point into the mapping, and we're going to map it to the value of we're going to map it to the corresponding link here. It's just going to be get P, and then because we want to get the value from P, and then we're going to add the string length here on top of that. And that should be it for our for each loop. And at this point, we know that we're done, and we want to return the resulting map. So we're going to return result. That'll do it for this video.